Hi, I'm Tina Derby, and I'm here today with Jacki St, who is a up-and-coming Western trainer based right now out of Ohio, I guess, because you're going to Findlay College, and also you have a house here in New Hampshire, not too far from my house. So welcome, Jacki. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Great. So, Jacki, now in the video, you were working on a couple of different things with the horse that you were riding. Can you tell me a little bit about what you were doing?
I guess the main focus in the beginning of the video was working on moving hips. And when I say moving hips, that's like moving hip to the inside to work on lead departures. Okay.
All right, good. That's actually really interesting because we always think, well, I don't know if we always think. I've often thought, or especially when I was younger, thought that leads were all about the inside shoulder, right? Because you were always looking for that leg to go. But really, you're telling me that the hip is sort of the key, maybe, to getting the lead departure right.
Correct. Actually, the first step that a horse takes to get the correct lead actually comes from the back. So that back step comes and then pushes that horse forward into the motion.
Okay.
Here we're just jogging around a little bit. I'm working on some collection with him, just making sure he's listening to me. In a second you'll see the hips start to move over a little bit, working on some hip moving to the inside, and then I'll pick up the lope there. And that was a pretty nice transition overall. His head came up a little bit, but he was collected through the whole transition. I'm giving him a release right there, and also keeping his hip to the inside for a few strides, and then letting him go straight again. Here I'm just coming back to the jog again. Try not to canter too long. I'm just going to work on gaining control of his hip, maybe move it to the inside a couple times, and then I'll lobe off. That was pretty smooth. He tried to bring his head up there a little bit, so I'm just going to correct him, wait for him to come back down, and then release him. Every time I ask with my hand, I'm also going to ask with my leg. Here I'm kind of letting him make a mistake and then I'm correcting it. Gaining control of his hip right there, moving it to the inside a little bit. I'm not going to let him lope off until I add that kiss. You can see that my outside leg is on because his hip's moving to the inside. But again, I'm not going to let him lope off until I add that kiss. And again, breaking down to the trot, moving his hip to the inside a couple times, gaining control, and then I'll lope off again. Again, here we're just working on control. I'm going to break down and change it up a little bit. I'm going to come in and do a couple of pivots. Get my horse's mind onto something else. The fundamental of pivoting here is making sure you have control of the shoulder. I'm going to start with a large circle and spiral down into a smaller circle until we come to the pivot. As soon as I feel like he's stepped over a couple times, I'm going to release him and let him continue in a larger circle. Here I'm spiraling down, keeping his shoulders straight, his neck straight, and I'm bumping with my outside leg to get him off that rein. There, he spun around a little bit, and I'm just going to continue in a circle. Starting the process over. Here I'm spiraling down. My inside hand's up, my outside hand is down. There was a nice pivot. Now I'm going to move on again. Main focus is to move that shoulder over.
So now, Jacki, when you watch people working horses, what are some common mistakes that you see people making that they should really try to avoid?
I think a big mistake is actually not letting your horse make mistakes. I actually like to let my horse make mistakes, and then you can teach them. Just like same with a kid or a dog, if they don't make a mistake, you really can't train them to be better. I find that a lot of horses rely on the rider way too much. Say, for example, a trail horse that always has the reins really tight because you think your horse is going to run off. Well, I like to let that horse have some rein, have some space to go, and if he goes forward, I'm going to correct him and bring him back down. By doing that, you have a much better chance of doing well in the show ring because you can't always be helping your horse in the show ring. So a lot of things like that all on the trail and any discipline, I think it's good to let your horse make a mistake and then learn how to correct it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then I guess you end up with a nice, easy horse that's fun to ride. You're not always having to work on him, right?
Yeah, you're not always having to work on your horse. That's the main goal, is to have a fun ride no matter what discipline.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming out here and doing the videos and riding for me and everything. I really super appreciate it. So awesome. Well, have fun back at school. I know you're going back to school soon, and we will wait to hear more about what you do this year, and hopefully we could get maybe another video with you.
All right. Thanks, Tina.
Great. Thanks so much.